BWF Solicitors, we take pride in our client service. As a niche law practice, we are conscious of the demands of our clients. We always offer a friendly, listening ear and sympathetic attitude. We've worked with thousands of people all across the UK in all areas of personal legal services. We have received great feedback and reviews from our clients. We are located at Seven Sisters in Tottenham on the 4th floor of the Anna House, right on top of the Victoria Line train station for your utmost convenience. We have a friendly office and provide all of the refreshments necessary while you wait to see a lawyer. We are dedicated to our clients and have a successful record of serving our clients. Solicitors of England and Wales are of high quality and are bound by the highest professional standards. We are officers of the court and are bound by standards of integrity, competence and conduct as part of our responsibility to uphold rule of law. Our solicitors and lawyers care about your case and are committed to providing the best possible service to you in the most considerate and careful manner. We hold 2 Law Society quality marks. Law Society accreditation helps to demonstrate that we have attained the requisite standard in the area of law and have the requisite expertise. BWF Solicitors, we're here to help you with your legal services when you need us.
Hello. Good day to all of you. You're welcome to Heritage TV, hanging out with Vicky. I'm so excited to be with you today. Next week is Christmas. Look at how time flies. Yes, and today, as usual, we have our legal hour show coming your way every Saturday at 12 noon, where we come to educate you about immigration issues. And of course, you can join us via Facebook, YouTube, Heritage, all the social media handles at Heritage TV. I will endeavor you to share because this will benefit a lot of people. It will benefit so many people. So please share to all your loved ones and friends. And I also endeavor you to contribute to this program. You can send in your comments, and if you have any questions for our guests, I'll pass it on to her for her to answer your questions. And of course, this is the right time for you to get the opportunity to ask your questions with no consultation fee. So yes, today as usual we are going to talk about coming to the UK as a student. And with me is lawyer Eunice Achampon. She's a partner and solicitor at BWF Solicitors. She's here with us to take us through what are the eligibility requirements and go through a few scenarios on coming to the UK as a student. So without wasting my time, I'll welcome Mrs. Eunice Achampon, partner BWF Solicitors and a solicitor. Hello, Eunice.
Hello, Vicky. I love the Christmas tree. Looking very festive. I like the lights blinking. I'm sure everybody in the house is feeling very festive at the moment.
Well, it's one unfortunate, we are in tier 3. I could have asked you to pop by and, have a glass of water.
I know. At least Boris Johnson says those that are in other households can join other households if there's only 3 members, or should I say 2 different households coming together into one household. So we'll see how that works out. He's trying to say that people can spend Christmas together, but as much as possible, we should also think about safety and how we can prevent this new breed of coronavirus from spreading. Yeah.
How are you guys gearing towards the Christmas break? I know you guys, it gets to a point, even when you're getting to the festive seasons, you might have people having emergency cases whereby, you would have no other choice than to try and help them out. How are you guys
Yes.
preparing to?
Yeah, I always say that when it comes towards Christmas, that's when you have to mostly deal with backlog. But this year, I think there's a deadline that most people are looking to, and apart from the fact that people will still need to make applications, for instance, if they have leave that is expiring and they have to extend it, they have to make those applications, and they will obviously need the help of a solicitor if they come to us. And you have also the EU transition period ending on the 31st of December. So that's also something else that has sort of added onto the workload in terms of this term, or should I say this month. And sometimes, a lot of the time, the Home Office also try and make sure that they deal with a lot of their backlog in terms of the fact that the year is ending. So you have them making decisions very close to the end of the month because they would take a break. But we don't necessarily have a break apart from the bank holidays that we have during the year, like Christmas and the Boxing Day and the bank holiday Monday. But apart from those days, we are in and we are obviously trying to deal with as many cases as possible. And considering that we are ending our transition period from the EU, a lot of people usually will ask, so how is this going to necessarily affect us? Most businesses, as it stands, if they have, should I say, trade within the EU, they haven't finalized any deal. So at the moment, we're just waiting for them to finalize something with the EU. And it seems like Boris Johnson is sort of dragging his feet. But we will see in the next few weeks what they have been able to agree upon and how it's going to affect other businesses as well, because it will not be business as usual come January 1st, 2021. And you have people who, for instance, will want to go and visit Spain or any other EU country sometime next year. At least there's the agreement that if you are coming for a short period, which is usually between 3 to 6 months, then you can come. You can come and holiday and then go back without a visa. But if you are coming for a longer period, then obviously you will need a visa to be able to travel to those other EU countries, because by January 1st, free movement would have ended for those within the EU who want to come to Britain and those in Britain who want to go into the EU. And so that's why they've introduced this new points-based system, and they've said if you are within the EU or any other country, please apply to our points-based system, and then you'll be given that right to work and reside in the UK where possible. And if you're already in the UK as an EU national, then you know that your rights are being protected under the Appendix EU. So they're saying anybody who is an EU national, anybody who is a family member of an EU national, or anybody who has lived here with EU citizenship and has acquired permanent residence or residence card should now apply under the EU settlement scheme, so that at least they will have those rights protected. If for one reason you're not able to apply onto this scheme by the 30th of June 2021, the law is saying that it will seem like you will be an illegal immigrant. And I don't think anybody wants to be seen as an illegal immigrant when they've lived here legally for a long period of time. And so they are encouraging as many people as possible to apply onto this EU settlement scheme. And of course, there may be people who will fall through the net and would not have applied by the 30th of June. And in those circumstances, you should have some reasonable excuse why you were not able to make the application before the 30th of June. And usually, people like children, maybe their parents weren't sure whether they had to apply. So if you're a child and, for instance, your parent didn't apply for you, that could be a reasonable excuse. Or for people who, for instance, were maybe going through some sort of domestic violence or some domestic abuse, they may not be able to make the application in time. And so those people as well could be considered. I mean, the Home Office hasn't come up with a guideline or any sort of policy in terms of what reasons would be acceptable, but considering all things being equal, we're hoping that these are some of the reasons which, if somebody were to fall through the net and not have applied by the 30th of June, then they would be able to rely on that reason to make an application. And then you have people who want to come into the UK, for instance, they have family members. So EU nationals who have family members who want to come into the UK, they also have the right to make an application if they meet the requirements as a family member. And if you look at our Appendix EU, the definition for a family member of an EEA citizen or EEA national living in the UK is somebody who is a child or a parent or the spouse or a dependent relative of the EU national. And in these circumstances, they're saying that if you are recognized under any of these categories, then of course you can make the application to join this EU national even after the 31st of December. But in the case where you are looking at an extended family member, for instance, an extended family member will usually be somebody who is like a brother or a sister or an uncle or a niece, nephew, somebody who is even adopted, not legally, can also be somebody who is an extended family member. And so they're saying that because this area of family members is not covered under the EU specifically, the Appendix EU specifically, then those applications come under our regulations 2016. And if they come under our regulation 2016, then it means that by the 31st of December, people who want to apply as extended family members of an EEA national who is living in the UK must do so by the 31st of December 2020, because unfortunately we will not be able to rely on our immigration EEA regulations 2016 once 31st December 2020 11 p.m. has come. So yes,
it's amazing.
and so, yes, and people are here and they're thinking, yeah, people are here, it's all over. That's the thing.
It's amazing.
And the people that are here and thinking, oh, I have a sister, I have a brother here, he's an EA national, would I be able to make an application based on that person? Usually the requirement is that you have to be able to show that you depended on them outside of the UK and you are still depending on them since you came into the UK. So if, for instance, you came into the UK in 2016, you have depended on them since 2016 up to now. And if you have the ability to show that you've depended on them, or you were a member of their household and you are still a member of their household since you came into the UK, then at least make the application before the 31st of December 2020. And with people that are applying, even if it's refused, we know that they still have a right of appeal under our regulation 2016. So even if it's refused after 31st of December, you will still have that right of appeal. And for those who will come and will be granted EA family permits, at least once they are granted EA family permits, automatically under our regulation 7.3, they will be seen as family members. And so they would also have the right to apply under our EU settlement scheme, just like the other family members who are parent, child, and spouse. So those are those people that will be called dependent relatives because the law recognizes that they are people that have been recognized as family members because they've been granted family permit, or they've been granted residence card for 5 years, or at least they have gotten some sort of status to recognize the fact that they are extended family members under our regulation 2016. So those people are the ones that have to be very sure that they can make those applications by the 31st before 11 p.m. on the 31st of December. And so it's extended family members who have that, should I say, deadline period to also make those applications. And a lot of people are asking, oh, I have a sister here or I have a brother here. Can I make the application? Of course, if you can show the dependency, or you can show that you are a member of their household and you used to be a member of their household, or you previously depended on them and you're still dependent on them, of course, why not make the application as soon as possible so that you are not beaten by this deadline.
Yes. What I would like us to do is that probably, I think next week, if you are available for us to, have our show, we can talk about the EU family members, since, after the Christmas holidays, and that's it. 31st is just around the corner. We can spend more time. I know we did it in the past, but if we will come back to it as well, just to give people the reminder that 31st is the deadline since we've left the EU. So let's quickly drift back to what we are going to discuss today, and then like, if you don't mind, we will touch on that next week, for people to be reminded of what they are required to do if they haven't done so. So straight to the topic for today. Coming to the UK as a student under the immigration point-based system, Eunice, what is the eligibility criteria for this type of
application? So usually for people who would like to come as a student to the UK, they will also have to meet the same requirements just like anybody applying under our points-based system. And so they call it points-based because you have to meet certain requirements to get certain points to be able to make the application. And so there's two categories of students. There's the student, the normal student who usually under our previous immigration rules, you call them tier 4 student visa holders. And then you have the child student. So usually if the child is coming to study here, they're coming to study in an independent school, which is usually a fee-paying school. They'll also have the right to come and study here. And these two categories of people, usually when they're talking about a student, they're talking about somebody who is 16 years and over, who is coming to study a higher education course, usually for a period of 12 months or more. And then for the child student, this is usually somebody who is under the age of 17. So it's between the age of 4 and 17. And so the child student is coming to study in an independent school, and it could be a boarding school, it could be a day school. And these child students can come with their parents where possible and then study in the UK. When it comes to the eligibility requirements, a student who is coming to study a higher education course will have to have information of study from the school that they want to study at, which is the higher education institution. And that higher education institution has to be a sponsored license holder. So they have to have registered with the Home Office to hold a sponsorship license. And that confirmation of study, which the university or the higher education institution will give to that student, will confirm their course of study. It will confirm the amount that they need to pay. It will confirm the maintenance fees that they need for accommodation. It will confirm the place where they will be studying. It will confirm whether they meet the English language requirement and any other thing that the higher institution thinks is relevant for that student to be able to be on that course. And usually that in itself, which is the confirmation of study, is 50 points. So if you're able to get that 50 points, you know that you have basically passed the halfway mark, because you need 70 points to be able to apply. So once you've got the confirmation of study, it says that you should be able to show your financial requirement as well. And that includes the university fees. And for most international students, the university fees will be ranging from 14,000 and onwards. And you should be able to also maintain yourself. And they have a different range for those that study in London and those that study outside of London. So people that will be studying in London will have to have a maintenance of at least 1,033.36 to be able to maintain themselves over a 9-month period. So they want you to have this money in your account for a 9-month period, which means that this money should be held in your account at least for 28 days before the date of your application. And so in terms of this, it means that you'll be over 20,000, you'll be looking at over £20,000 in that person's account. And they also have to meet that English language requirements where it should be at least at a level B2. So either they've done a course which makes them eligible to meet the NARIC certification standard, or they are now going to take an IELTS or an English language test in whichever country that they are from to be able to now meet that level B2 requirement. And usually, if you have met these requirements or the English and the maintenance, it should be confirmed on the confirmation of study, which will be given by the sponsored license holder. And they in turn obviously will put that in bold, or they will state that clearly in that letter that they will give to you. Now, once you've met those 70 points, you know that you can make the application. And those that are child students, the same is applicable. They need that confirmation of study from that institution, which is 50 points. They don't necessarily have to meet an English language requirement because they would be children, but they will need to meet a maintenance requirement or financial requirement, which is 20 points in itself. And as long as they are able to show that they have at least 1,560 for at least a 9-month period, and they are able to pay the tuition fee for the independent school, then they can also apply for that child student visa. So yeah, those are roughly speaking the requirements for a child student and normal, should I say, student that will be making such an application.
Ladies and gentlemen, I said in the introduction, this show, we would like to hear from you. I know you might have friends, families who would like to, continue their education in the UK. Myself, I came over to continue my education in the UK, and it was very beneficial to me. So I believe strongly we have lots more people who would like to, further their education in the UK. So you have questions or queries, I will be very happy for you to join this conversation and send all your questions to us, and I will be able to pass it on to our learned solicitor, Lawyer Eunice. Lawyer Eunice, there are some few questions coming in at the moment. If we could go through some of the questions. Lindsay said, good show. She's learning so much from this show. We should keep it up. And she's wishing us a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Thank you, Lizzie. Yes, she said, I would like to bring my daughter who is over the age of 18 to attend university in the UK. What are the things she would need to make such an application? I think we discussed that with the requirements.
Yeah, so in terms of the documentation, it will have to be that confirmation letter from the university. She will also, if they have taken an English language test, they would need that English language certificate. If it's not an English language test that they're taking and they already have a qualification in their country, which is an undergraduate certificate, for instance, then they will have to have it checked by NARIC or assessed by NARIC before making the application, because it needs to meet that level B2 that they require. And of course, they have to have the money in their account. So they need the bank statements of the student to be able to confirm that they have the money for the tuition. They also need the money to be in the account for at least 28 days and within a 31-day period of the account holder. So usually you are saying that the tuition fee is available and the money for maintenance, which is the 1,336 amount, is also available for a 9-month period as well. So they will require the bank statements and they will require that confirmation of study, as well as if there is an English language certificate, they will need that as well. And just like most applications, if you are in a country listed for tuberculosis screening, then you will need that tuberculosis certificate, medical certificate as well, to show that you have undergone the screening and you do not have TB. So that's also another requirement. And they will pay the application fee and they will also pay the immigration health surcharge when making the application as well.
Having the fees in the student's account. I know that as a student, you might not have that money. Now, I believe strongly, if I should say 99.9% of students coming to study in the UK are supported by sponsors. Now, if you have a sponsor sponsoring you, does that mean the sponsor would have the money that you will need for tuition and your living costs, expenses into you, the account? Or does the sponsor provide his statements proving he is able to pay your tuition and any living expenses? I just want a clarification from there. Does the sponsor have to put the money in his account, or that amount of money that he or she might need for the duration of this tuition?
Okay, so in a case where in a case, for instance, where the student is being sponsored by, let's say, a parent, because usually it's a parent or a relative that is usually sponsoring that student. As long as they are able to show that they have the monies ready and available, and usually this will be the case in most child student cases, where they are not able to obviously have their own account showing all of these details. So they have to have a parent who is able to show that they will be able to meet those financial requirements. Of course, they will allow for that sponsorship to be able to provide their bank statements to prove that those monies are readily available in their account. So if you have a student, for instance, who is studying on a higher education course, which could be an undergraduate or a foundation course or whichever higher education course that they may be on, as long as that money is also shown in that student's account. So even if it's the father or the mother of that student who is sponsoring this student on the course that they are taking in the UK, if they can actually have the funds readily and available in that student's account for that 28-day period within the 31 days. So usually, if you're saying the month of September, 30 days has September. So for instance, that month of September only has 30 days, but then they want it to be in the account within a 31-day period. So if the money is within that person's account within that period of 31 days, then of course it's fine for that student to produce that evidence that the account has been, the account is showing that that money has been in there for that period of 31 days before they were making the application to study in the UK. And most applications are usually made at least 6 months even before the course starts. So for instance, if my course is starting in September, most people would have applied by March or April to study on the course, and those information such as the bank statements will have shown the monies in the account for that period of time even before they make the application. And another good thing is the fact that once they are granted, if they are renewing or extending their student visa, they don't have to show this requirement of them meeting the financial requirement. They always meet it. So in the mind of the caseworker, the Home Office caseworker, they're saying most students are able to meet that requirement once they're in the UK anyway. So they don't need to keep showing them the bank statements to show that they meet this requirement. So that's a fantastic thing for students who will be coming into the UK once they are granted a student visa.
Oh, amazing. Right, the next question coming in is from Jake, and I'm interested in studying mechanical engineering. Can I bring my husband and 2 children with me?
Okay, so Jake, in terms of your course of study, usually it will only apply to people who are studying on a postgraduate course. So, unfortunately, those who are studying an undergraduate course cannot bring their family members. This is only applicable to those studying on a postgraduate course or are doing some sort of government sponsored course, and therefore they have to be here with their family members. So if you are studying on a postgraduate course and you want to be able to bring your spouse or your child, usually there are certain requirements that they would have to meet, and that will be based on the person who is the main student applicant. So if you have 2 years, or let's say your course is for 2 years and you've been granted 3 years on your visa, your wife or your partner will be granted the same level of stay or leave that you have been granted as well, depending on whatever she has. So if her leave is expiring in 2021, they will grant you a leave that expires in 2021. Obviously, you have to show that you are a partner or wife to the student who is already in the UK, which is Jake. And once they've been able to prove that, they obviously also have to prove that they do not meet, they obviously have no criminal records, for instance, and they haven't done anything to misrepresent any information to the Home Office, and they are not in breach of any immigration rules whatsoever. And they would also have to show maintenance as well. I think this is roughly about £560 for every month for that 9-month period that they will be coming. And then once they've been able to meet that financial requirement, they can make the application to join their partner who is in the UK. And also, like I said, the TB certificate is necessary if you are coming from a country which the UK believes is under their list of tuberculosis screening. Then you will have to also have that medical certificate done. if you are talking about a child as well, usually they have to know whether you are solely responsible for that child, or the partner who is coming is the one who is in care of that child, and therefore you cannot leave that child behind. And so, if for any reason this child who needs to be brought over is a child that you are solely responsible for, then of course they can also join you in the UK. And in terms of the maintenance as well, they will also need to meet that maintenance requirement for each month for a 9 month period for which the student who is in the UK is going to be living in the UK for. So, yes, as much as possible, they should meet the requirements, that they are not people who are unsuitable under our immigration rules, and that they also meet the financial requirements as well. Yes.
What is it that those studying postgraduates are allowed to bring in their, husband, wife, and children, as compared to the undergraduates? Are they more all students coming here to?
Mm. I think I'm just saying this out of my opinion. This is not a legal opinion. It is just an opinion of mine that I'm expressing. I think it's to do with the fact that those that are postgraduates would usually be coming on a course which is maybe lengthier, or they may be people that are more matured, and so they think that if somebody who is coming on a postgraduate course is coming, they're going to try and also do some work as well. They would benefit the economy, but they would also be people who are more likely to also get a job here, for instance, in the UK, in whichever area of study that they may be studying. So, with people with student visa, they may also switch onto the work permit route for skilled worker, or whichever route they think they are more suitable for. And so people like that are, should I say, what the government or what the economy needs. And therefore, if they were to come to the UK with their partner or child, then as much as possible, they would be able to care for them and sponsor them, and also add to the economy if they chose to stay and work here in the UK. With students who are, should I say, undergrad students, most of the time, I think that they know that they tend to return back to their country, and they don't necessarily stay, for instance, and probably switch to any other route. So I'm guessing that that's the reason why they allow those that are on postgraduate rather than those that are doing like undergraduate courses to have their family members come and stay with them.
So the undergraduates, throughout the length of their stay in the UK studying, they cannot have family members join them throughout the duration of the course, but they can apply to be visiting them from time to time. Am I right?
Yes, definitely. And I think anybody who misses their family so much would definitely let them apply for them to visit, or they would in turn go and visit them as well. I think obviously in a scenario like this, because most students are usually students that I would say are under the age of 25, these students tend to go back to their family back home, and they would be the ones doing the visiting rather than the family members doing the visiting. But either way, you can visit, or the family members can come and visit in the circumstances. I know it's not fair for those that are undergraduate students, but at least they have that option.
So I'm thinking, if a married man or someone who is married,
Mm,
and being alone in this country, not having the wife with him, just imagine.
yeah, yeah, yeah. it doesn't seem fair in terms of reasoning, but they probably have their own statistics, they have done their own studies, and they think that those who are doing postgraduate courses should be allowed to have their family members. And it's also another way of restricting the inflow of immigrants, isn't it? Because they are trying as much as possible to restrict those that are coming in. And that's why we have Brexit at the moment. So they are trying as much as possible to sort of reduce the inflow of family members or immigrants that will be coming to the UK. So that is also something that you can say, maybe that's why they're saying, well, normal students who are studying undergraduate courses can't have family members. But if you are studying a postgraduate course or you are studying on a course which is government sponsored, then yes, of course, have your family members come and stay with you. And they believe that these people are more likely to switch to work permit visas and also benefit the economy in some way. So I'm guessing maybe that's the reasoning behind that. Obviously, I could try and look for more information in terms of what their intention was when they said it's only for postgraduate students or those on postgraduate courses next weekend, and let us know.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, it's an interesting discussion because I've also been once a student in the UK, so I can relate to what Lawyer Eunice is educating us on. I'm so excited, but I must admit, since my time, a lot has changed because during my time, you could bring your family and husband, your spouse, and children to join you during the stay, your stay for your program. So it's good to it's changed since then. Yeah, Eunice, I've got a question coming in. This person wants to stay anonymous. I would like to move to the UK shortly, and I have young children who are under the age of 10. How do I apply for their visas?
Okay, so in a case where the children are coming to the UK, they will also study. And so applying for a child student visa for the children is necessary. So in a case like this, all the children who are under the age of 10 will need to apply individually for a child student visa. And they would need that confirmation of study from an independent school. So first of all, the person will need to apply to the independent school. Once the children are offered a place at that school, they will be given confirmation of study for each of the children. So each of those children will be given a confirmation of study, and then they will have to meet that financial requirements as well. So usually if they are applying with the parent, it will be 1,560 for that 1 month period for a period of 9 months. And then for each additional child, I think it's just over £520 thereabouts for each additional child. And so once they're able to meet their financial requirements, then they have to make the application. They make the application. The parent as well will be applying as a parent of a child student. So that parent is saying that my child is coming to study, or my children are coming to study in the UK. They have gotten their CAS, which is the confirmation of studies of acceptance, and they are making the application as students, and I'm also making the application as a parent of those children or the child students to come into the UK. Once they're able to meet the financial requirements, they can come. But the child student visa will only be granted to the mother if, for instance, the children have been given a place and their visa has been granted to them. And for a parent who is joining that child, they have to be able to show that the child is under the age of 12, and they would stay with that child until the child reaches the age of 12, or when their studies complete, whichever is shorter. So either that their study will be completed when they are 11, or if, for instance, the child reaches the age of 12 whilst the parent is here, then it means that the the mother's visa or the father's visa will end at the age of 12, where that child reaches that age of 12. So once the child reaches the age of 12, unfortunately, the parent is not eligible to apply as a parent of that child student. But because she has three, she can obviously apply to stay with the other two. So that's a good way of doing it as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Legal Hour on Heritage TV, hanging out with Vicky. And as you can see, I have my beautiful, pretty young solicitor and partner of BWF Solicitors. If you want to contribute to the program, please send your questions to all our social media handles at Heritage TV on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, all the social media handles. I would also like to state that this program is sponsored by BWF Solicitors. They have their representative here, and Victim Estates Limited, your property management company. You can contact them on www.victimestate.co.uk, and also Eagle Heights International School, your math, science, and English tuition center for 11 to 18-year-olds. You can contact the team at www.eaglehighschool.com, and they have made it possible for us to come your way this morning to educate you on immigration issues. If you have any other immigration problem, or you're not clear with anything regarding your immigration status, look nowhere else and contact BWF Solicitors. Our guest lawyer Eunice will be making the contact details available and directions to their offices available to you at the end of the show. Since we started this program, we've had so many people very keen interested to visit the offices of BWF Solicitors. And honestly speaking, the feedback I'm receiving has been amazing. Their reception is great. When you go there, they treat you, as a special guest. Like I have lawyer Eunice here on my platform. You'll be given refreshments if you request. And, the staff there, receptionists, everyone, from receptionists to the, the owner of the company are so lovely. You just feel like you are part of the family. So I will endeavor you to always take your immigration issues to BWF Solicitors, and they'll be very happy and glad, to see you through the procedure, and possibly, help you to win your case, if I should say so. So keep it up. If you have any queries, you want to contact them, like I said, lawyer Eunice will put forward all the details, contact details for you to, see her or any of her team to put your case across, and they'll be very glad to take it up. So, lawyer Eunice, back to you. I've got another viewer who sent us this question as well. Let me see. Let me clear. Maria, I will just read the question. The lady is asking, is it possible that as a parent, can I apply to stay with them for the duration of their studies? I think it's a
Oh,
parent asking.
definitely.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes,
Is it?
definitely. As long as, like I was saying, they are under the age of 12, they can stay with their parents. And if, for instance, the first child reaches the age of 12 and the other two are still under the age of 12, she can make the application based on the fact that the other two are still under the age of 12 and she's there as a parent of those child student. Um, I don't know why they limit it to the age of 12 because I'm just thinking out loud. Maybe because by the age of 12, they are independent and they'll be able to sort of cater for themselves. I think that's why they limit it to that age. So, in circumstances like that, most parents will be looking to visit their children every now and then when they can to obviously make sure that the children are doing well, or they may ask the children to come and visit during holidays. I remember one of my colleagues was doing an application for a parent of a child student, and that child was over the age of 12, and she was just looking as to how she could make the application once that child has reached the age of 12. And obviously, in a case like this, because the law was so strict, he looked at applying under the family route where you are a parent of a child, for instance, who has lived in this country for a continuous period of 7 years. And so he made the application based on the fact that, yes, this child has lived in this country for a continuous period of 7 years. And as a parent of this child, this mother wants to make the application relying on this relationship as a mother of this child, and therefore she should be granted leave to remain. And it was successful. This child was granted leave to remain. I mean, this parent was granted leave to remain based on the fact that the child has lived there continuously for that 7 year period. So that was a good one as well. Yeah.
Great, great. Right. Lawyer Eunice, I think these are the questions that I've got for you for now. Is there anything
Okay.
you can add we've discussed so far?
Far. So, in terms of those that are usually applying under the student route, usually you will not have any settlement after this period. So, for instance, those who are on work permit visas, they know that after a period of 5 years, they can apply for indefinite leave to remain. But those that apply under the student route don't usually have that, should I say, assurance that they can apply for settlement after their student visa has gone over a period of 5 years or whatever. But at least if they are able to show that they have lived here legally with a student visa for 10 years, then they can make that application under our paragraph 276 to say that they've lived in the UK legally for 10 years and they want to make an application for indefinite leave to remain because they have lived here continuously for that period of 10 years. So, if, for instance, they came here as a child student and they continue to study up to university level, then those people are more likely to apply for settlement than those that come here as, let's say, adults who want to study an undergraduate course. You find it fairly difficult to apply for settlement unless you are switching to a different route, such as a work permit visa holder or a skilled worker. So, if, for instance, you haven't acquired that 10 years lawful residence, then it will make sense that after your studies, you can switch to either the work permit route, or if you end up meeting somebody here in the UK and they are settled in the UK or they are British, then you can make the application to switch from that student visa to that family roots visa. So, just a word of caution so that students know that there is no settlement after this route unless you have lived here continuously for 10 years legally, or you switch to a different route, which could be the family route or work permit visa route, which leads to settlement. and that way you'll be able to gain settlement at the end of a 10-year period, for instance, or a 5-year period, considering which route you come under. And so, yes, that's just a word of caution for people who apply under that route. So, yes. Oh, our
Yes.
details isn't.
Sorry.
I was going to say I'm supposed to put the details out, unless there's
I haven't
something else
forgotten.
you want.
Don't worry. If I don't, I know our viewers are going to eat me up. So I haven't forgotten at all. That's the last thing I was going to ask you. Lawyer Eunice, because of time, we've only got 4
Yeah.
minutes to go. I know
Okay.
something special happened today at 5 p.m. On BWF Solicitors platform. If
Yeah.
anybody hasn't seen the whole team of BW, because usually I only have Eunice come on here, you need to see the
Yes.
other guys at BWF Solicitors. Head straight to Facebook today, 5 p.m. Lawyer Eunice, quickly, can you tell us what is going to happen today at 5 p.m.?
Oh, okay. So this is like an end of year production with our team at VWS Solicitors, and we just want to say a big thank you to all our clients and those that patronize us, and those, I mean, those that basically make BWF what it is. We just want to just say a big thank you, and we just want to let people know that, do you know what? As much as this year was challenging, we have got to thank for bringing us this far. So yes, this afternoon we will be showcasing each and every person within our team, and we will hopefully have a good audience to keep propelling us as the years go on.
So, details, please.
Okay, so we at VWF are situated at Seven Sisters. We are right next to the Seven Sisters Underground Station. When you take the underground train, we are on the main high road. And if you take the exit 2 of the underground station, you will see a large building on your right hand side called Anna House. And our contact details or our address is the fourth floor of Anna House, 214 to 218 of the Tottenham High Road, London. Postcode is N15 N4NP. So N15 4NP. Our main office telephone number is 0208 493 7340. So 0208 493 7340. And we are usually open from Monday to Friday from 9:30 to 6 p.m. And we obviously will make room for you if, for instance, you cannot come during the week and you want to come on a Saturday, if you let us know in advance. My personal contact details are 075 3581 3910. As much as possible, we know that we are under tier 3 lockdown, but if you do choose to come to our offices, we still are keeping to the government guidelines, and we ensure that people wash their hands. As soon as you enter into our reception, we'll offer you the hand sanitizer. If you don't have a mask, we will offer you a mask as well. And we make sure that there is a social distancing when you see the solicitor as well. So yes, Vicky, hopefully next week we'll be able to have a session. I know that will be during the Christmas break, maybe just for a few minutes, and just so that people are also aware that there is that deadline coming up as well.
Thank you so much. Very much appreciate you. You don't know how much you've helped so many people with this, legal immigration education. On behalf of my viewers, I'd like to say thank you to you and your team. And hope this is going to be a long-term, partnership, because a lot of people are learning so much. The impact has been amazing. So thank you so much. Definitely we'll see our viewers next week. We're going to wish our viewers Merry Christmas now. We will do that next week.
Yes, it's Christmas on Friday, so Merry Christmas in advance. Yes.
I was wondering until next week. But anyway, it's yes.
Oh,
So
because it's on Friday. So I wanted to wish them Merry Christmas in advance.
and a prosperous new year. Definitely we'll see you next
Yes.
week. We love you, we
Yes.
cherish you, so we'll make ourselves
Thank you.
available next week as well to have a chit chat for us to end the year on a very successful note, making sure that anybody who has to meet that 31st deadline is encouraged to do so. We don't want to hear any stories, I forgot and I didn't know issues. We will come again
Yeah.
next week and talk about the 31st deadline. So Lawyer Eunice, thank you so much. See you guys 5 p.m. on Facebook, BWF Solicitors. I hope my viewers will also join me when we go on their platform, getting the opportunity to meet the whole team and share ideas. If you have any queries, questions, they are there too. So it's something like a continuation from this afternoon's Thank you once again with us, your family, and wishing them all the best and Merry Christmas, prosperous New Year. Even though I'll see you again next week, take care and to the family. Ladies and gentlemen, there you are.
You too.
This full discussion. Thank you so much for staying with us through the program. Thank everyone who joined us, tuned in to listen to the program. Thank you to those who shared. And also, I thank those who sent in their questions. We can't do it without you, so we very much appreciate you. And I also want to say thank you to my team at Heritage TV, Mr. Thomas, Queen S3, and all the team. Without you as well, we wouldn't be able to come to you every Saturday. So thank you again. I just don't know. I keep on saying thank you. Please pardon me for that, because I really appreciate everyone around me who has made this possible, apart from the Almighty God. So till I see you again next week, take good care of yourselves. Even though we are on tier 3, I believe you just enjoy yourself, stay peaceful, observe your social distancing, sanitize your hands, make sure you have your face mask on. We want to see you alive. Take good care of yourself. Till then, God bless you. Bye-bye.
BWF Solicitors, we take pride in our clients' service. As a niche law practice, we are conscious of the demands of our clients. We always offer a friendly, listening ear and sympathetic attitude. We've worked with thousands of people all across the UK in all areas of personal legal services. We have received great feedback and reviews from our clients. We are located at Seven Sisters in Tottenham on the 4th floor of the Anna House, right on top of the Victoria Line train station, for your utmost convenience. We have a friendly office and provide all of the refreshments necessary while you wait to see a lawyer. We are dedicated to our clients and have a successful record of serving our clients. Solicitors of England and Wales are of high quality and are bound by the highest professional standards. We are officers of the court and are bound by standards of integrity, competence and conduct as part of our responsibility to uphold rule of law. Our solicitors and lawyers care about your case and are committed to providing the best possible service to you in the most considerate and careful manner. We hold 2 Law Society quality marks. Law Society accreditation helps to demonstrate that we have attained the requisite standard in the area of law and have the requisite expertise. BWF Solicitors, we're here to help you with your legal services when you need us.